are here at Hollywood Smoke in Santa Monica. I'm Steve Kim. Welcome to another edition of 10 Count. I am joined by Michael Montero of Montero on Boxing and Michael Baca of UCN Live. Guys, November 28th from Dusseldorf, Germany. Heavyweight championship of the world is on the line. Wladimir Klitschko takes on Tyson Fury. Mr. Baca, let's go back to the night of April 25th. Klitschko wins a clear-cut decision over Bryant Jennings at the Madison Square Garden, but struggled a little bit. Did you see any signs of physical slippage with Klitschko?
No, I saw some physical advantages with Bryant Jennings. I think he showed how athletic he is, how, if you stay away from Klitschko, you can kind of outbox him a little bit. You got to be aware of that left hook, but it's possible. As for Fury, can he do that? I'm not too sure. He doesn't look he's a behemoth of a man at 6'7", so that's the most interesting part of this fight is Klitschko's in there with a guy as big as him.
Yeah, Mike, the thing that I noticed, though, when the referee that night, whose name escapes me, penalized Klitschko for clinching and actually, get this, enforced the rules, that fight changed. Klitschko was very uncomfortable in there for a few rounds.
Yeah, to me, I agree with you about Bryant Jennings. I think Bryant Jennings is actually a little underrated, underappreciated. I think he's going to be a top quality heavyweight contender for years to come. And I think he proved his mettle in that fight. But Jennings almost forced the issue with the point deduction because he just didn't submit and let Klitschko hold, which other opponents have done in recent years. He fought back. He even got nasty on the inside. He landed a ton of rabbit punches. He was hitting on the hip. He was pushing. He was doing whatever he had to do to get Klitschko off, and it forced that point stoppage. I think when a ref sees an opponent fighting off those clinches, it makes the clincher look that much more evident, and it changes the dynamic of the fight. And hopefully we'll see that in Germany coming up next month. But I don't know if Klitschko can just hold this guy, Tyson Fury. He's so much bigger. I think he's actually 6'9", and he's a lot younger than Klitschko, weighs more, has longer arms. And Jennings showed if you have longer arms than Vlad, you can get some work done, as you mentioned.
Yeah, and he could punch himself in the face like we've seen him do.
Beautiful right uppercut. That's the one thing. Does the sound and the Fury signify anything? Because one thing about Tyson Fury, he's marketable, he's a character, he's out there.
He's Batman.
Yes, he literally is. Does it mean anything, though?
It means something. I think it might not mean as much here in the United States where the heavyweight divisions kind of died out, but over there in the UK and in Europe, it does mean something. This is actually a big event over there. And if he performs well in this fight, if he can actually be competitive like Jennings and even do better than Jennings, I think that it goes a long way for him, and it makes the heavyweight division more interesting. There's more matchups we can see between Fury and other guys, like maybe Deontay Wilder.
I think the one thing that Fury brings to the table is not only youth, size. I mean, a lot of the guys, I'm not saying that he's fought a bunch of midgets, but Wladimir Klitschko in the ring looks significantly bigger and taller than just about everyone. I think Fury, if he really is 6'9", he might be one of the few guys actually as tall or taller than Wladimir Klitschko. And now Klitschko is going to have to punch up a little bit, theoretically. That might change things. I just wonder, though, Wladimir Klitschko, I picked against him in the past. I'm never making that mistake again. It's easier said than done. He looks very easy to beat because he's basic. There's the jab, the occasional right hand, once in a while a clean-up left hook. But, Mike, if it was that easy to beat him, it would have happened many more times.
Right, and if his chin was horrible, as everybody says, you don't win for 11 years straight having a bad chin in any heavyweight era. I don't care how poor it is. The one thing Emmanuel Stewart worked on with Klitschko right away was spacing, distance, timing, positioning. If you look at what Vlad does in the clinches, he doesn't just grab a guy. He gets on his shoulder. He leans his head on the shoulder. He positions himself just to the side. He moves his feet in such a way where the opponent can't get off. Can he do that with a taller, physically stronger, possibly physically stronger guy? That remains to be seen. The one thing I know about Fury, though, is he's going to go for broke. He's a little wacky.
That's good.
Unlike, I think, Jennings, who late in that fight, Jennings kind of decided he was going to lose and just played it safe to the final bell, I thought. He did just enough to lose the rounds. Fury's going to say, hey, I got a couple rounds left. Let's go for it. And that's when the fight will get fun.
How much of a shot you give Fury?
I'll give him 4-1 underdog shot.
That's not bad though.
No.
Compared to most heavyweights.
No, we've seen Klitschko being beat before. It hasn't happened in a decade. But as far as the chin, you brought up his chin. He has had a suspect chin in the past. I think it's totally viable. We could see it again. And he's older now. Your chin doesn't get stronger as you get older, does it?
Well, you know what? You talked about what Emanuel Stewart brought to the table is how to protect the chin.
Yeah.
A bad chin's a bad chin. You can't super glue the doggone thing. You can't. But you can mitigate that just by tucking it in and being on the outside and hiding behind the jab. One thing Fury has shown to be able to do, he can jab a little bit. He understands boxing pretty well. If he could jab with Klitschko and not get blown out in that department, I think strategically this fight gets a little bit interesting. But we're going to see. It's going to take a very courageous fighter to walk through some fire and understand there's a sacrifice to getting inside to Klitschko. Because one thing that I think with Klitschko, when you crowd him on the chest, and I think Bryant Jennings showed this, he gets claustrophobic. And I think that's the job of Tyson Fury. Somehow mitigate the jab of Wladimir Klitschko, take away his comfort zone. And if he can make it a fight, then guess what? He might actually have a shot.
That's how you beat Wladimir Klitschko. That's the blueprint, okay? You make it a fight. He's talented enough. He's so superior in terms of athleticism to all these fighters. He could stay on the outside and play Floyd Mayweather. In some ways, he's a heavyweight version of Floyd Mayweather. He could just win off the jab. If you make it a fight, you make him uncomfortable, then things get interesting. And I think Fury can do that.
So there you have it. November 28th, Dusseldorf, Germany. Fury tries to take the crown from Wladimir Klitschko. That's it for this segment of 10 Count. On behalf of Michael Baca and Michael Montero, this is Steve Kim saying till the next round, goodbye, everybody.